New at 6, an NBC 10 I-Team exclusive. Costly command centers. They're portable police headquarters. They're used in major emergencies, like the search for 2 missing hikers on the Rhode Island-Massachusetts line last night.
Right, but Rhode Island is just 48 miles long by 37 miles wide. How many of these expensive vehicles do we really need?
The NBC 10 I-Team set out to get the answer to that, and I-Team reporter Katie Davis joins us from the newsroom, asking if taxpayers are getting their money's worth. Katie?
Patrice, that is the big question, and there's no doubt that mobile command centers are a huge help during emergencies like that search last night near Burrillville or when Superstorm Sandy hit Rhode Island back in 2012. But how many of these vehicles does our small state really need, and how are cities and towns using them? Ready at a moment's notice. Mobile command centers, police headquarters on wheels, used during storms, natural disasters, or in case of a terrorist attack. Rhode Island's Emergency Management Agency has 2. This one just under $500,000, and the Big Daddy $1.5 million, an investment the EMA says is vital to Rhode Island's safety. Both vehicles are available to cities and towns throughout the state, but they've got company.
The question is, how many of these vehicles does a state that's as small as Rhode Island need?
I checked with every city and town in Rhode Island, and here's how many we already have. Bristol, Burrillville, Charlestown, Cranston, Cumberland, East Greenwich, Middletown, Pawtucket, Providence, Westerly, Woonsocket, and 2 in Warwick. The NBC 10 I-Team tracked more than a dozen mobile command centers statewide, and that's on top of the 2 state vehicles that are available to cities and towns. Total cost more than $3.7 million. Monique Chartier with the watchdog group Rhode Island Taxpayers says that's only part of the price tag. Gas, insurance, and maintenance also add up.
A vehicle like this is not like a load of salt that a town can just plop in the back of their garage and forget about.
That's a lesson North Providence learned with its mobile command unit. The chief told me the vehicle was sitting idle for so long, the tires rotted.
We used to laugh and say, well, if we could take it to the Patriots games, that would be great. Unfortunately, I don't think anybody would appreciate that, and then you'd be doing a different story right now. So.
The $170,000 RV became little more than an expensive eyesore. In the 10 years the department owned it, it was used for police action just once. It required 10 to 15 hours of maintenance every week, and few officers were willing to get behind the wheel.
And then it became a problem where we didn't have too many officers that know how to drive that or wanted to take on the responsibility of driving that.
So last year, Acting Chief Paul Martellini decided it was time for the big bus to hit the road.
How long do you think it had been sitting at that point?
At that point, I believe it was probably several months in which the vehicle was sitting idly in the back lot.
North Providence transferred the vehicle to Warwick, where emergency responders say it will get more use. Command centers based in Burrillville and Cumberland are regional, shared among several communities. Burrillville's vehicle was in action over the weekend, called out to a search and rescue operation in the Wallum Lake Benson Mountain Trail. But the NBC 10 I-Team found other vehicles don't get out as much. We tracked mileage, cost, and usage for 15 command centers across the state. We found Cranston's hasn't left the garage in more than a year, plugged in to keep the battery from dying. And across the state, when vehicles are used, it's usually for community events or training exercises. A few examples: Bristol, the town's famous 4th of July parade; East Greenwich, the Summer's End concert; and in Charlestown, the community's annual Seafood Fest.
Right now, the primary use for this vehicle is special events.
Not so much for police tactical operations.
Not anymore. It used to.
Lieutenant Pat McMahon says Charlestown's mobile command unit heads out multiple times each year for fundraisers and festivals, but it's also ready to go in case of a search and rescue operation on the town's beaches or in the woods of Burlingame State Park. The vehicle paid for with $90,000 in federal grant money following the 9/11 terrorist attacks.
At the time, we were planning for the worst. We were planning for when the next event is going to happen.
Across the state, police departments told the NBC 10 I-Team it's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. But critics say it's time to take a second look at the cost versus the benefit.
Yes, the federal government pays for things, but it's a big illusion to think that it's free.
And we have stats on all of those mobile command centers statewide, how much each one cost, what it's been used for in the last couple of years. Head to our website, turnto10.com. Click right here on the I-Team tab. Live in the newsroom, I'm I-Team reporter Katie Davis, NBC 10 News.